Hey guys, I hope you're keeping well and you're having a really good week so far. It's a bit bittersweet because today is one of our last daily inspiration messages for a while, but that doesn't mean we're not bringing you content and we're not bringing you new teachings and other things. So we stopping this, or we pausing it for a while we're working on this new teaching series, which I'm really excited about. So I hope you guys will be logging in to check what we're publishing. We're publishing once a week and putting a lot of work and effort into those teachings that we're going to be publishing, and you'll be seeing some more information about that over the next couple of days and weeks. So I hope you'll be joining us for that. So I decided, since it's the last one, I'll record outside. Thank you to the ladies in Dubai who are making it possible while I compete with wind and birds and all of these things. Thanks to them, you guys can hear me. So today's topic is something that I learned from Joyce Meyer. The topic is do it afraid. You know, sometimes God asks us to do certain things, or he calls us to do certain things, or he leads us in certain places that is absolutely terrifying, absolutely frightening. And that fear, when that fear comes, it's so powerful that it can actually stop you and paralyze you from moving forward. And I've had that so many times in my life. And you know, in Joshua, it says, I think it's in Joshua 1 verse 9, me and my paraphrasing as usual, it says, be strong and courageous. And courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is moving forward despite the fear, despite the emotion, despite all of that. That's what courage is. And it doesn't matter if you feel terrified or frightened when you do certain things that God calls you to do. The important thing is to be obedient and to do it, even if you're afraid, even if you're shaking and stammering and taking a shaky foot or step forward every single day. That's what we need to do. We need to do it afraid. Okay, I have so many instances in my life when God told me to leave my job. I wasn't just scared, I was frightened, I was terrified. And I went through a long few hard months of being terrified, but I did it. Even though I was terrified, I would go to God every day. I'm going to do it. No, and you know, there was multiple things. Besides my security, it was rejection from people and judgments and emotions and so many things, and the discomfort of changing. And so I had to do it afraid. And I remember the first time I ever taught, so I was in my early 20s. Yeah, I basically stuttered and stammered through the whole thing. But you know what? Somehow God had told me he wants me to do that. I didn't understand it, but I did it. I'm sure those people must have thought, wow, this girl's awful. They never would have guessed that I would in the future be teaching and preaching, but I had to take that first step. I had to do it afraid. And I've been doing plenty of things afraid, and even now I'm experiencing something. I'm experiencing some emotions that are frightening me, that are scaring me, and I'm taking it to God, and he's just taking me one step at a time. But the scripture that he gave me was this, and I want to encourage you guys with this. Isaiah, I hope I'm getting the reference right. If not, the right reference will be on the screen. It's Isaiah 41 verse 10, which just says, fear not and do not be dismayed. I, the Lord your God, will be with you. I will strengthen you and I will help you. And I don't know when God stops leading you down these scary places, and sometimes we get scared for different reasons. It could be scared because our security, like when I lost my job, I wasn't sure how I would provide for myself, and I had to come to a revelation that God is my provider, not my boss, not my company, not a person, only God. And he provided for me richly during that time. I never lacked a thing. I never missed a meal. I always had somewhere to sleep. Okay, so he always provided for me, but I wouldn't have known that. I could have stayed in that comfort of a secure job. Sometimes we're scared because we've been hurt in the past, and it means that we need to open ourselves up to emotions again, and it's difficult and it's hard. But I'm encouraging myself, and I'm encouraging you guys just to do it afraid. Do it afraid. Be encouraged by Isaiah 41 verse 10. Like I said, I hope I got the reference right. Be encouraged by Isaiah 41 verse 10. And if you feel God is telling you to do something and you feel terrified, it's okay to do it shaking. It's okay to do it just shaking in your boots, just like trembling, but do it. That's the important thing. And you know what? It's not about your reputation. I've lost my reputation so many times. And many of the times when I'm trying to do something and looking terrible while doing it, or shaking, stuttering, stammering, whatever it is. But at the end of the day, I've always said I want to be obedient to God. And sometimes it takes huge, scary steps of faith, of putting ourselves out there, putting our emotions out there, maybe taking a step of faith in terms of your security, whatever it is. But I want to encourage you to do it afraid. And God has never let me down. He's never going to let me down. He's never going to let you down. But the only way you actually truly start to understand and get a revelation of that is when you take those scary steps, and when you do those scary things, and you realize that God is there and He's with you. And you know what I always say? This is what I told myself when I left my job. I said, you know what? The worst thing is this can fall apart. Yeah. But you know what? I don't want to ever look back and say I didn't try. I don't want to have regrets in my life. That's always been a huge driver for me. I don't want regrets in my life. I don't want to look back and say, what if? What if? I would rather just know, no matter how bad it could turn out, if I make a huge mistake, I would rather not look back and say, I wish I had done that. I wish I had tried. I would rather say, okay, it was a bit of a disaster, but you know what? I did it. I tried. I moved on. Lesson learned, I moved on. But what I can say is God will never let you down. Take those scary Take those scary steps, have those scary conversations, make those scary decisions, do those things that you feel God is leading you to and what He's putting on your heart, and do it afraid. Yeah, and trust me, it gets exciting following God, because you start doing all these scary things and then you realize He is faithful. And He will be with you, and He's going to help you, and He's going to take you through it. And life is an adventure. Never have had a dull moment since the day I decided to start following God with all my heart, with all my mind, with all my soul. And you know what? I'm going to just close off this last daily inspiration with my favorite quotes. You guys are going to be able to say this in your sleep. Obey God, leave all the consequences to Him. That is living life at its very best. Guys, thank you so much for listening to the daily inspirations up until now. It means so much to me. Please stay tuned. We have some amazing content coming your way. And like I said, whenever we're not doing a teaching series, I will be doing these daily inspirations. I'll be keeping you posted. But I appreciate you guys so much. I love you guys so much. And I will see you soon, and I'm looking forward to doing this upcoming teaching series with you. Thank you guys, God bless, and I will see you very soon. Bye.